AskReddit by Meowmamix. As a homeless person, what is the most important thing you can tell someone who finds themselves homeless for the first time? Stay away from homeless communities like tent cities if you don't want to stay homeless. Brush your teeth and don't be too afraid to engage with people. Join the library. They have many free resources and cheap alternatives. For example, I get copies made there instead of Kinkus when I print my resume. Why stay away from tent cities? If you're homeless without a vehicle or public transportation of some kind, as in, you're always on your feet, invest in socks. Take care of your feet. Do what you can to keep them dry and blister free. At first I read that as invest in stocks and I was like, what lol. Find a way to maintain dental hygiene. I'm so tired of not being able to chew food, being in constant pain, and having additional medical issues due to oral infections. Not to mention, once they begin rotting, your appearance will hinder you from being employable. In addition to brushing teeth, chew gum with xylitol. It inhibits the growth of bacteria that cause cavities. If you're homeless but have a job, get a gym membership, preferably somewhere open 24 hours, so you can shower and warm up, stay cool and hydrate. Rent a PO box if you can to get some mail to help maintain an identity. If you need to replace an ID or paperwork, you need an address. Most post offices offer a general delivery service for homelessness. Talk to a clerk at your local post office and ask about it. As long as you can provide a valid ID, general delivery is free. Been homeless recently? 1. Gym membership, hygiene and cold nights. 2. Department Human Services, find food pantries. 3. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, don't be proud to ask for help. 4. YouTube top tents, save money. 5. Stay away from shelters if possible, crazy PPL. 6. McDonald's has free Wi-Fi. 7. Focus on your health, try to eat as healthy as possible and stay clean. It's super easy to get sick or catch something on the street. 8. Stay motivated. I wish you the best of luck. Stay away from shelters, but it could also be the saving grace. Many shelters have 3 meals a day, showers and support staff. Yes, there are tons of crazies, but you don't have to stay there long. Find a job, look around for extra financial support, move out as soon as you can. No, ever been homeless, but have been food insecure. Hare Krishnas and Sikhs will feed anyone in need. Krishnas and Tuesdays, their holy day. I believe Sikhs are every day. Also, the Hare Krishnas usually have a Sunday feast, either around noonish or in the evening at 6ish. You can climb out. There are plenty of practical recommendations here, and they're good. But don't forget about caring for your mental health and reminding yourself this is only temporary. 30 years ago, I was a high school dropout sleeping in parks and on bus benches. Today, I have a master's degree, and I sleep on a king-size bed in my own home. Keep your head up, keep moving forward, and remember this doesn't have to be permanent. Attend church functions for the food. Also, all Hindu temples will provide a cooked meal to anyone. I understand if you turn up frequently, you may start to be given little jobs to help out around the temple. If you're lucky enough to have a vehicle, in the US, welcome centers, rest areas, in your state are a great place to sleep. I would go dusk to dawn, and alternate locations. Restrooms and phone charging were a plus. This was obviously a short-term solution, and I never drew attention to myself and kept my car clean. Most have safety patrols drive through nightly, which made me feel safe, but I was never bothered and honestly looked a person taking a few hours rest while driving. It's exactly what they're there for. I also met some very nice travelers. Google safety rest area or welcome center for your state. Large truck stops are good for this as well. Try really hard to stay off drugs. Seriously, stay off fentanyl, stay off meth. That street meth makes people into monsters these days, fries brains, and there's basically no coming back from that. Fentanyl kills so many people, new users. We had a homeless guy camping down the block who was tidy, kept to himself, so the neighborhood left him alone or helped out in whatever way they could. Dude lived for 2 years like that, surviving. Then one day some other campers moved in close to him. Less than a week later we found the other campers gone and his tent collapsed. After talking to some other homeless people nearby, we found out dude did fent with the new people, OD'd and died. Those streets are hard, but these two things will either keep you there or put you in the ground quick. A tent. Source a tent somehow and find a little spot, preferably in some wooded area. Obviously this depends where you live. Literally sleeping on the streets is super dangerous and your likelihood of getting sick from exposure is high. Edit. Not been homeless for 10 years, so my advice might be out of date. I just got out of homelessness at the end of November. I was only homeless for 6 days this time, but I've been homeless for months before. Woods is so much better, feels safer, quiet, no needless on the ground, and as long as you're a clean person it'll look like you're just camping. For homeless women, there will be many men who approach you offering you shelter for seemingly nothing in return, out of the goodness of their charitable heart. Do not trust these men. Also for homeless women, if you look clean, frequent places with large busy bathrooms and ask other bathroom users for a tampon. You'll never have enough if you only ask during menstruation. Ask every time you see another woman in the bathroom. My mistake was thinking it was safe staying in urban streets near cameras. I was 17 at the time and a little girl. People are horrible, so I would suggest finding some woods where it's quiet, and if you're lucky enough, get a tent or some basic survival items while you go to charities that can offer jobs or shelter for a little bit while you figure out a way to source a little bit of income. Try to find a place that's safe and warm. I slept in my music conservatory practice rooms. They let the guy in my new city sleep in the post office. Just be nice and find somewhere where people won't say anything. And good luck. Libraries are a good option. At mine, it's okay to sleep there as long as you're in a chair and your face is visible. I remember when I first became homeless and was starting a new job working at Starbucks, and on day 1 of training the trainer talking about all the things Starbucks does for charity like helping the homeless, it hit me then how much society looks down on people who are homeless. It didn't even cross her mind that I could have been homeless as a new Starbucks employee. I remain homeless and food stamps eligible all through my employment there. I had a co-worker who was homeless too. Crazy how such a big corporation has so many employees who are paid so little they qualify for government assistance. Worked for Starbucks for years while living with my parents, and the only way I could get an apartment was with housing assistance. Not homeless myself, but if you can afford it, a gym membership with 24/7 access is surprisingly helpful. It'll get you access to clean water, showers and toilets, a safe place to go if you need it, especially overnight, and working out can help you stay motivated and optimistic in spite of your circumstances, which can help you get back on your feet. And being in physical shape could be helpful when it comes to looking for work. I just got out of homelessness, again. If you have a job, keep it in any way you can. Find a place to shower like the gym or at a homeless hub that offer showers. As long as you're pet free, your best bet is to get into a shelter. They usually have support staff to aid you with finding work. You have to work in this economy to afford a room. Even with welfare, I'm short by rent by $270. A job will make sure you're able to afford a room for yourself, food, clothes and things to have fun with like a computer or games. If you have a pet that you are not willing to part with and you're homeless, it's a very different situation. My experience is being homeless with a 80-pound dog. I couldn't go to shelters and finding housing is exponentially harder with a pet. Give me a text if you're homeless and need to talk. The first mistake homeless people make is they try to hold on to everything they have that is valuable to any dollar mark or emotional bond. You might not be able to pay rent, but quickly find a storage facility that sells an extremely small room. Depending on where you are at in the country, they are relatively inexpensive. Keep everything of value in it. If you don't, weather like rain or snow will take it from you. If weather doesn't do it, gang members will. If you get intoxicated, you just might do something stupid with it and then it's gone. I have a lot to say about what to do if you find yourself homeless. If you can afford that locker, get one. You might get hooked up living with someone in their apartment the first week, or homelessness might become years-long chronic problem. You don't know. Get a locker, and if you can't pay rent, get your stuff out of that locker or you. If there's a Buddhist temple in your area, they will feed you for free. I've never been homeless, but I'd say often local libraries are great resources. I use them a lot. Bicycle touring. Safe, free Wi-Fi, computers, books, places to sit. Free power outlets as you have devices or a battery bank to recharge. I'm a public librarian and we also usually have a list of resources to help people that are homeless, so make sure to ask the librarians for help too. Was homeless for 10 years. Get ready to be treated terribly by most of society and get ready to be seen as less than an object. If I may ask, how did you manage to get out of it after such a long time? I imagine it being hard to get out of it at all. But the longer you're in this situation, the harder it's going to get. I'm not homeless, but I live in San Francisco. Don't do fentanyl. You will no longer have any friends. You will have to rely 100% on yourself and no one else. IDK. I've had friends find themselves in adversity like this, and I've let them stay with me. A very good friend of mine allowed me and my daughter to live with her while I got back on my feet. Not everyone has friends like that, but more so than don't. My favorite quote by Churchill. When going through hell, keeping going. You matter. Not having a house does not diminish your value as a person. I haven't seen this mentioned, but libraries are a great resource as well. There are few places to exist in public where buying something isn't expected, and libraries are warm and chill. You can charge your phone, sit comfortably in a chair, and enjoy reading material. They have free events which can help pass the time and lift spirits, and free museum passes for the same. Checking out a book is helpful, too, because people are much less bothered by someone sitting in a park cafe anywhere reading a book. I'm not homeless, but my sister is the branch manager of a day labor company. She has many homeless individuals that work for her. She pays daily. Look in your city and see if there are similar companies. The pay is usually good and getting paid daily will help with funds. At her company, the employees get a debit card and the money is loaded daily, so no waiting. Sometimes, the jobs lead to permanent employment. I am on the board of a non-profit assisting those in these types of tough situations. Besides food and shelter, which have been mentioned in depth here, go to your public library and research what resources are out there or in a larger city near you if you are in a smaller town. There is a lot of philanthropy out there in these types of organizations and people need to research to access it. Agree with what others have said about gym membership. When I was homeless, I had a membership to the university swimming pool. It was cheap and gave me access to showers. Also, don't let shame get in the way of asking for help or accepting help from those who offer. Find warm and dry places to sleep during the daytime in case you can't sleep at night. I used to camp out in front of a 24-hour store by the subway station. It meant there was always someone around, which made me feel safer. I hope you can find some accommodation soon. When you get sorted, get therapy. The trauma of not having a home can last a long time. Sending you a big hug. Try to camp out by a truck stop. They have laundry, showers, and food. Plus you have people going in and out. You can always ask for money if needed. I lived in my car temporarily and that's what I did. If you are a woman, do not do this. Find a group of people that you feel safe with. It's better to be part of a group for safety reasons. Especially for women. One thing I learned when I was homeless. A lot of good advice here. Some religious places offer food. If there is a Sikh temple near you, this is one of the best places. They always have a kitchen to feed the hungry and they are respectful and non-judgmental of all people. They also won't pressure you with religion or try to convert you. You just have to follow their basic rules while in the temple complex, which is mostly about hand washing, no shoes, and a head covering that they usually provide. Find a social worker now. Your community action council is a good place to start. In America, it's going to be so much easier and shorter with someone on your side who knows how to get you housing and food. And be nice to them. Do what they ask of you immediately. Don't get into conflict with the people who are helping you, or with fellow homeless. Show them that you're a salvageable, civilized person who is willing to help themselves, and they'll prioritize you over everyone else, because they can accomplish something with you. Not homeless, but my partner was. He mentioned once how he suffered from athlete's foot a lot, whether it was from public showers or just lack of laundry hygiene. I'm not sure. Keep an eye on your feet, especially if you aren't sleeping in a car or shelter. I grew up homeless here in Amp, there with my mom. Shelters do help. I've lived in shelters in both Canada and Amp, USA. They will often help with bus tickets for going to work, going to interviews. They also often receive clothing donations in Amp. You can pick out some clothes. Yes, there can be crazy people, but you'll be able to get on your feet a bit faster using a shelter. If you're clean, libraries are always a good place for during the day. If you need food, if you're not staying in a shelter, hit up a food bank. If you're sleeping in your car, some Walmarts are a safe space to park and Amp, sleep. Also rest areas, as you'll have access to bathrooms also. Edit: in case you see this, have faith. It does not have to be forever, and Amp is no indication of your worth. My mom and Amp, I both bought houses. I've paid mine off completely, and Amp, I'm a business owner. This can be a small blimp or a short chapter in your life. Thankfully I'm not homeless anymore, but I'll still leave this. Brush your teeth. Brush your fucking teeth. Do it. Dental work is so expensive and having bad teeth causes so many problems. Dollar Tree has supplies cheaply. Dentist offices usually have kits. Some hotels have kits. Aid offices, at least where I am, have kits. Drink clean water whenever and wherever you can get it. Don't start fights. It's better to be a nuisance than be dead. Ask for help if you need it. Don't break the law if possible. Take care of yourself, love yourself, and reach out for support in all areas you may need it. Treat yourself like a beautiful flower. You deserve to love who you are and feel like your life is worth living. Take care of your mind, your body, and your spiritual health. Someone out there loves you. Please don't end up buried as a John Jane Doe. Let people help you. Go to the food banks. Check your local op shops. Accept help, damn it. Most important, you matter. Second, how people treat others is a reflection of them, not you. Hang in there. I wish you the best. Call 211 for connection to various social services. You should first go and apply for Medicaid. With Medicaid you can go to a low-income area and they should have a tent put up at a pizza place or Family Dollar to get a free phone. You can also get a free tablet with data for $12 approx usually. You literally can't do anything without a phone anymore. I am not American, but my understanding is that expanded Medicaid is not available in 10 states. Which is downright evil. I was homeless for 3 years. Work hard. Get a job. Live a simple life and don't get tempted to do things that will land you in jail. Seek out homeless shelters that offer case management. Mission of Hope has a rapid rehousing program. Other programs know the resources in the area and can help you find and fill out the paperwork to get you into a place. They also have resources for clothing, food, employment, etc. Not homeless here, but I work in a wound center and have worked with a homeless population. Very important adequate footwear and several pairs of socks. Foot care is critically important for homeless folks. We've seen some really nasty infections that lead to amputations. Chronic wounds can cause all sorts of issues, including death. Take care of those feet. I scrolled for a long time, and nobody mentioned dumpster diving. Most places it's completely legal, and stores throw away a lot of sealed perfectly good food. In the United States, stores throw out an estimated 300 million pounds of usable food every day. I have friends that aren't homeless that dumpster dive once a week and absolutely pack their car with food that they donate. Don't linger for too long in the same area. People will notice you and eventually call the cops. Always keep moving so as not to become a familiar face. Life did this to us and there's no shame in asking a restaurant for some food at closing hours. Dishwashers are also in demand year around. Not homeless, but don't forget your library likely has resources. The local one has an adult services that can work with a third-party caseworker with you. They can help you with getting forms paperwork you need. Sometimes they have things like free passes to places locally, including the public transportation. Internet access can be helpful. Ours has cards with lists of resources such as food banks, shelters, etc. If you're able to, have copies of your vital documents and or maintain current identification documents, i.e., driver's license, state-issued photo IDs, etc. If seeking support from social service agencies or accessing permanent supportive housing, housing vouchers like Section 8 or HUD vouch, a requirement is providing these and the process can be prolonged if you don't have these in your possession or they are expired. It's also helpful if seeking employment. Stay near the cities but not on the streets. Find a spot close but tucked away somewhere off the beaten path. Do not wander the woods in country areas. I know men who will kill homeless campers for no reason.